Before we go any further, I'd like to say I'm a short disclaimer. This is not in any way trying to give you legal advice. I'm going to introduce you to the professional that will be helping you with that. And but there's so many things that can go wrong when you come to the United States. No matter your financial status, your profession, it doesn't really matter. You still need the advice of a professional. Well, hello everybody. My name is Sonia Trevino and I'm with the Houston Homes Legacy Group. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Luis Hess. He's an attorney at law. And today we're going to talk about how you can obtain a visa for investment properties. So, Luis, what can you tell us about yourself, first of all, and then I guess about the whole process?
Well, my name is Luis Hess. I'm an immigration attorney here in the Woodlands with offices also in Houston and Mexico. We've been in business for almost 2 decades, and we primarily help foreign nationals come to the U.S., get some type of visa, get a green card, and eventually become a U.S. citizen.
With this type of visa, anybody in Mexico wanting to obtain different properties here, they could come to you. They sit down. Can you tell us a little bit about the process?
Right. So the investment visa is a very popular option for foreign nationals in order for them to work, stay, and study here in the United States. Okay. This process allows somebody who's looking to open a business, open a bank account, invest money in that bank account that is bringing about $100,000, and use this money to operate a business that employs people either part-time, full-time, or as an independent contractor. All of those are considered the basic foundations for an investment visa.
Got it. And what would be the first step for someone? We get calls all the time in our business, people wanting to invest in properties. We do a lot of marketing in Mexico, so they call us and they say, we want to buy a piece of property. Who can you refer us to? Or what does it take?
Right. So real estate in general is always a very strong option for investment visas. Now, there are some limitations, but there are a lot of advantages to this process. So if you give me a moment, I'll explain how it all works.
Okay.
So the entire concept of the investment visa is that it's an active process. So what does active mean? Well, let's start with the opposite, passive. A passive investment is buying a property, doesn't matter if it's $100,000, $500,000, $1 million plus. You can't purchase property, live in it, and call it an investment. It's for your own benefit. You're not employing people unless you have a home that has butlers, maids, and other domestic help. You're not really employing people through your investment. So to take the step forward to make it an active investment, we're discussing somebody who has at least 3 properties. It could be residential, it could be commercial, it could be a mix of both. And the idea is there's enough routine maintenance work on a monthly basis that you can have somebody at least in a part-time employment or part-time independent contractor status who's coming over, fixing whatever happens to be the house, painting, cutting the grass, whatever it is. But the idea is that 3 homes, a minimum, is necessary in order to achieve an investment visa. And this also can apply to people who are interested in buying a home, remodeling it, and selling it, which is commonly referred to as flipping here in the United States. Or we can even deal with something that's even more basic, which is buying land, developing the land, selling the property, and repeating the process. So the entire concept when it comes to properties is that if you have some type of business, whether it's maintaining properties for rent or selling properties, this constant activity is sufficient to obtain the visa. Now, the reason that foreign nationals should be interested in this type of visa is that this process allows a foreign national to hire a manager. So you personally do not have to be out in the field cutting down trees. You do not have to personally be laying cement and putting a foundation down. There's no requirement that you're sitting there and painting each room individually. You can hire managers just the same way as Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, who we would call great active managers in the active business, hire people to do things that they don't have to do themselves.
Right.
So a foreign national who has the means to bring money here to U.S. to open a business, to get into real estate. They can hire somebody to direct the management of the properties. They can hire somebody to do the development of the properties, and that allows them the freedom to come and go as they please. Allows their spouse to also get a work permit, and they don't have to work with their own spouse. They get social security numbers out of this entire process. Their kids, so long as they're under age 21, can come and go to public school, whether we're talking elementary, middle school, high school, or university level. And then finally, it also allows them to build up credit history, which, as we know, you can always get a lower interest rate if you are a foreign national with a social security number with a credit history, as opposed to a foreign national who just has a tax ID number, which it is what it is. A tax ID number only signifies the ability to pay taxes, but doesn't necessarily mean that you have credit history. So there are lots of advantages of this process, and one of the things that is advantageous to foreign nationals going through this process is that you can renew the visa every 4 to 5 years. Most foreign nationals, not every national qualifies, but if you do qualify for an investment visa, you can get it for 4 years, and so long as the business is active. So long as the business is still, it's literally in business, it means that you can renew it every 4 years and not have a problem. So if you purchase, let's say, 3 properties, put them on Airbnb, and you have a manager managing the day-to-day activities, that's fine. You don't have to be here. You can come and go as you please, stay for a day, stay for a week, stay for a month, but you can renew the visa for the rest of your life.
Wow, see, that's a lot of new information for myself also, so that's great information, Louis. We really appreciate that. And so what I'm getting from this, and I'm just kind of recapping, the main objective here is to create jobs for people here in the United States. So as long as you're a foreign national, can come to the United States, purchase real estate or any other type of investment, if I understood correctly, commercial properties or even development. I heard you say that. So is there any minimum like a dollar value that they have to invest, or as long as it's 3 properties? Or
well, the regulations are pretty clear that there's no minimum amount required. What immigration is looking for is what they call a substantial amount in the industry that you're involved in. And to just be frank and honest here, when it comes to real estate, you're unlikely to find anything of real value for under $100,000.
Correct.
It's possible. I mean, if you went to Detroit or somewhere else where property values are much lower than here in Texas, that may be a possibility. But typically we recommend $100,000 per investor. So if let's say you have a group of investors who are interested in buying, let's say you have 3 foreign nationals, let's say Mexican nationals, who are interested in buying 9 homes. That's fine. You have each foreign national bring in at least $100,000, and 3 properties will equal 1 investor who gets 1 visa.
Got it.
So, or to make it simple, just do 1 enterprise, 1 LLC, one whatever type of business entity we're discussing. Have the foreign national bring the money. They don't have to purchase the property cash. They don't have to pull out a check. They don't have to wire funds for the full amount. If they can get a loan from a bank in their home country or a bank here or a private lender here, it doesn't really matter. So long as they bring at least $100,000 in some fashion or another.
Got it.
Whether it's a loan or their own funds, that's sufficient.
Got it. Well, there you have it. For those of you who have wondered, how can I go to the United States and start there legally with a visa?
Right.
Whether it be, like you said, to invest. I mean, I forgot to ask you this. When you said the wife would also obtain a work permit, she doesn't have to work in the same business. She can work in any other field. Right.
So whether gay or straight, husband or wife, whoever's the primary applicant can only work in the business that they're invested in. But the husband or wife, the other spouse, gets a work permit that allows them to work for anybody. But there's no requirement whatsoever that they have to work. They can choose to shop, they can choose to play golf, they can choose to hang out with their kids, they can choose to start their own business. It doesn't matter. They have the luxury and freedom to do whatever it is that they want to.
Because they're under the main, like if it's a family, the husband and
Right.
wife. Okay.
They're, because of the connection through a family relationship, they can work, but they're not required to.
Okay, got it. That's what I didn't understand, if they had to also work, whether it was with the business or not. And I know you said their children can also attend public schools, universities, up to the age of 21.
Correct.
Okay.
So after age 21, they have to go find another visa. The great thing, the option, of course, is that if they want to get involved in the business, they certainly can do so. They can get involved with their parents' investments. Now, again, if they're looking to get involved in real estate, again, we're talking another $100,000. Now, that $100,000 can be a loan from the parents, it can be a loan from a bank.
Okay.
So there are ways in which we can come up with legal strategies in order for children who are aging out
Got it.
to still be able to stay. Because the wonderful thing about the investment visa process is that you still can study. So you can be, let's say, a child who's over age 21, let's say they're 22, 23, they would prefer to stay here in the United States, but don't want to deal with the hassle of the F1 student visa. So instead they get the E2 investment visa, allows them to make money from their own investment, which is good,
Mm-hmm.
gives them a social security number, gives them a driver's license, lets them build up a credit history. And so while they're in school, they can work within their own business
Wow.
and they can still study. So there are plenty of opportunities.
Plenty of opportunities.
But you just have to set up a legal strategy that fits each individual's specific situation.
Well, we really appreciate your time, Luis. All this is great information. I know there's a lot more to it than what we are touching on right now, but it gives you an idea what you can do, how you can start. So I would start by calling Luis for a consultation so you can obtain more information, and we look forward to hearing from you. You can reach me at 281-850-1066 or by email at Sonia, Sonia, at HoustonHomesLegacy.com. Luis, would you like to provide your information?
Of course. Our main office line is 281-205-8540. So you give us a call. We can meet with you either here at my primary office here in the Woodlands. We also have an office in the Houston Heights, and we also have an office in Guadalajara, Mexico. So either of those three places, we can set up a meeting to meet with you in person, or if that's not convenient, we can always do it via Zoom or even by phone. So there you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for inviting me, and I appreciate talking with you today.
Awesome. Thank you.